I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lisa, and this is what happens before Boca.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Before Boca. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
I can't believe we actually wrapped up episode 1.
Oh my God. I feel so accomplished.
Like, after all the technical issues, the taping, not taping, microphone, I feel proud of us.
Proud of us. Yeah. And a little drained.
A little drained. We're not going to lie. It was like, we wrapped it up and we're like, okay, we did one. Like 51 more to go.
51 more to go.
Yeah, so that was
very excited.
It was exciting.
So a few housekeeping things, little tidbits. Follow us on Instagram at Before Boca.
But before underscore Boca.
Before underscore Boca, correct. And check out our new reel.
Our one reel. That also took us like an hour to shoot.
Yeah, and a couple of takes, but
5 seconds.
Also, I have to point out, thanks to Michelle, I'm wearing elastic waist pants today.
She's catching on.
I'm catching on, and they're very comfortable, and they're not hiking up like my jeans yesterday. And it inspired me last night to go online, which I know we're kind of trying to do less, but to pick out a whole bunch of elastic waist pants.
Ooh, and we're going to share them.
And we're going to share them on our link tree, which will be live under our Instagram profile.
Very profesh.
Yeah, that's where it's going to live. Okay. And if you can't get in for some reason, because Instagram has been having some issues with the links, then just go to Linktree and search Before Boca.
Wow. Okay, I love it.
Okay.
So the holidays are behind us, and I think it's time to talk about how fucking overwhelmed we all are.
Yeah.
Right? Like yesterday we were bored.
I know.
Today, overwhelmed.
I thought like there is might be an elephant in the room. Our listeners might be like, well, why are you talking about being bored? And now today you're talking about being overwhelmed. Yeah. And I think those things can live together side by
definitely.
side. Yeah.
I mean, I think that sometimes our boredom can overwhelm us.
Correct.
But I do think that sort of on a broader, more probably prevalent scale is that, overwhelm just exists in motherhood. And I always say it's like probably the most used word in my practice. It's like the buzzword of the last couple of years. And I always joke with my patients that I'm going to make like a check mark on the wall every time someone uses that word.
Right.
Because it's just constantly.
Fill up the whole wall.
Right. And I think it's interesting because it comes in so many different forms, and I think people use the word in so many different ways.
Right.
So, I was kind of thinking about like, what does an overwhelmed Lisa look like?
Well, I think honestly, like an overwhelmed Lisa, I'm not like a dramatic overwhelmed person. I'm not going to like run in somewhere with my hair disheveled and, I don't wear makeup, but like just looking a mess and feeling a mess. And I'm going to operate pretty much the way I normally operate. Okay. Which is
so is it like in your brain?
Kind of put together. So I'm still functioning. I'm still showing up. But in my brain, I'm shutting down. And so an overwhelmed Lisa is like less patient, a little snappish, not really remembering a lot of things. I'm very forgetful. And I just don't feel well.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a second, but so you don't look harried.
I don't look harried, but I do feel harried.
Right, so it's like internal.
It's internal, and it's also like it comes through like enjoying things less, like things that I normally love, like taking my dogs for a walk or, doing something relaxing, like getting a manicure. I can't physically sit there because my mind is racing and I'm thinking, what should I be doing?
Yeah.
So I keep a lot of it internal. I'm not like an external overwhelmed person.
Okay.
But my brain hurts.
Your brain hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think I look more frantic than you probably do. And the forgetfulness is sort of part of it. Like, I talk to my friend Dina every morning before I start work, and she'll tell me, like, every morning that we're on the phone, I'm like, oh! And she's like, what? And I'm like, oh, I just spilled all over myself. Yeah. Like, or I dropped something, or I forgot something.
That.
Right. I do that a lot, right? So I think that's part of my overwhelm where it's like, and I know what it comes from. It's because I'm multitasking and I'm on the phone with her. I'm getting ready for my day. I'm eating my yogurt.
Yep.
I'm turning on all the lights. Whatever it is I'm doing, I'm trying to like organize my thoughts, and I'm not very present. So for me, it's frantic. I look harried. Forgetful, forget it. I am so forgetful. I am beyond. Like, I have to tell you this really funny story. So the other day when I came home from shooting here one day, my son was really congested, not feeling well, but he had a hockey game that night. So I was like, he's like, can you give me some medicine? I'm like, okay. So I go into the cabinet, I take out Dayquil, I give it to him. A half hour later, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I gave him NyQuil.
Oh my God.
He was passed out. Like, he couldn't go to the game. Like,
He was out.
But it was because I was so harried from the day.
Right,
I was
rushing.
frantic. I like felt bad that I hadn't been home dealing with him. There were a million other things to do before the game. It turned out we couldn't even go to the game because I gave. So it's like, that's how it looks like for me. I'll go to the supermarket for 3 things. I'll come home with 2 of them.
Yep.
Because I'm half paying attention. I'm splintered. My list isn't helping me because I forgot to look at the list.
Right. A couple of things with that. First of all, this psychiatrist that I love, Dr. Slater, he always says paralysis by analysis. And I think that that's where my brain goes to.
Yeah.
I'm analyzing so much, like what I have to do and what my lists are and what my goals are, that like I just shut down. I literally am like useless.
Yeah.
And so the overwhelmed feeling is like, it's beyond. The other thing is that it's sort of a paradox for me, because when I was practicing law, I would kind of let everything linger until the last minute because we all worked so much better when there was like stress on a deal and we were there, the pressure. So it's a paradox because I want my brain to calm down, but yet I let it linger for so long and I'm so paralyzed that it gets to a point where I have to get shit done. And then I go into like, okay, I'm going to get it all done mode. And I'll go through my entire list. I'll do like 26,000 things and it will come out and everybody will be like, but you got it all done. But like, what does my nervous system feel like? Oh yeah. It's not healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I think our overwhelm sort of destroys our nervous system, dysregulates us, makes us forgetful, makes us feel completely burnt, puts us into a different part of our brain, which is not great, right? You know, I think it also impedes our decision making. I think it makes it really hard to make decisions when we feel overwhelmed. I always like try to say like, don't worry about making the right decision, make the decision you make right, because I think we flip that coin back and forth, like, should I do this, should I do that? And I think that's part of like the overwhelmed kind of dysregulation that I think we all feel.
Yeah. And also I think our overwhelmed selves are our worst selves for like our husbands, our family, our friends, and it's just not like who you want to be. Which is I think why we started having this conversation about this episode.
Yeah, like, this was a good one. So what makes you, like, what is the thing that would make you overwhelmed? Because like obviously you have a lot of different facets of your life, you wear a lot of different hats. What is the thing that would like typically make Lisa overwhelmed?
I think a couple of things. Food, not me eating food, deciding what to eat for dinner.
This is a very big one in my home. I'm very happy to hear you say that.
Is like number one.
Which I have to say, we were here filming yesterday and Lisa's husband Gary just like brought home pizzas and just started making them and put them in the oven, and I was like, huh.
That's so good.
It's just so easy. Like, I feel like in my house, we'll debate for, what do you want? Who wants this? Like, my daughter's vegetarian. My son eats like he's 4. Like, we all are, and that really overwhelms me, especially when I'm hangry. Like, I don't want to have this conversation. Like, that really overwhelms me, which I know sounds ridiculous.
So for me, I end up, first of all, I go through my head, like, what does everybody want to eat? Who's eating what now? Who's going to be home at what time? The less of my kids that are home, it doesn't lessen like my feeling about being overwhelmed about food. Yeah. And Sherman, one of our friends, can vouch for this. I'll text her. I'll be like, what are you making for dinner? Can you make me extra? How do I make it? Can you send me a recipe? And then
she's a good cook.
She's a great cook.
Maybe if you're a good cook, then that doesn't overwhelm you as much. I'm a horrible cook.
I suck.
I don't cook anything, so I can't even say I'm a horrible cook because like I don't cook in my household.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about like things like are there other influences like not in your house that would make you, is it like dynamics with kids, dynamics with friends, work stuff?
Well, right now, and I think a lot of our peers probably feel the same way, this college stuff.
The college stuff,
I mean,
very overwhelming.
Can we talk about this for a second?
And there's so many facets to it. Like
there's so many facets. It could be a full-time job. Some people make it their full-time job.
Yeah.
So I have 4 boys. My oldest is like, he's a self-starter. Like he does everything on his own. He signed up for his ACTs. He did all his college applications. I never read one thing. I never saw one thing. To this day, I don't even know what he wrote his essay on, really. Yeah. And then I skipped over. Jakey went right to work. So I was like high-fiving myself, like no college stuff. And now I have the twins. And I have to say that what this whole college process has become is horrific. And I registered them for the ACT for computer instead of paper. I registered them in Wayne instead of locally. I mean, it's a mess. And also it's like literally a full-time job, like get online, go virtual visits, tell them that you're interested, show demonstrated interest, like that whole thing. I said to Silas and Tyler the other day, I was like, can you guys just apply to a school that has like a 99% admit rate, get a great scholarship, and just be happy?
I know. It's start to finish, because it's not just like where to apply. Then once you applied, then it's like, okay, you got in, choosing. Then it's like, who's my roommate going to be? Where am I going to live?
Right.
What dorm do I want to be in? All of it. So I think the whole process of it can just feel extremely overwhelming. And also it's consuming. It's like all anyone talks about when you're in it. Like I'm in an off year because my son's a sophomore. So none of like my peers are talking about it. Like it's not impacting me. If you guys are talking about it and you have older kids, like it's not impacting me. But you just are still in it. You still are hearing about who's getting in where, thinking about why they got in. And I just think that whole thing is extremely overwhelming.
So like, I think along those lines, what's also overwhelming to me is like this whole like keeping up with texts and social media, and like everybody expects you to answer right away. And there's just like no peace anymore. Yeah.
It's funny because I do find peace when I'm at work because I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I think people know I'm not going to respond and I'm not going to answer. And when I'm with my patients, I'm extremely present. And I think that is like one of the only times I really don't feel so overwhelmed. Like I'm not thinking about the other things I need to be doing, and it feels very relaxing and peaceful, and I don't feel like the multitasking part of me kind of kicks in. I mean, I think obviously a lot of us are overwhelmed by like our kids' lives, whether it's like friend drama or choices they're making or any of that. I mean, that I think can be overwhelming. And I think it's also balancing it all. Like how much time to put towards career, how much time to put towards your partner, how much time to put towards like friends and kids and which groups of friends. Like, so all of that balancing can sometimes feel overwhelming. I mean, I think you usually make it seem very flawless. So it's interesting to me to hear you say that there is some overwhelm in that little noggin of yours. But
there is.
All right. So before we sort of talk about the mission for this week, I just want to hear from you, like, what were you doing prior to us having these conversations to help you feel less overwhelmed? Like, was there anything specific that was in your repertoire?
So my favorite thing to do, which I look forward to going every week, is therapy. I mean, we've spoke about now my therapist, but at one point, both of our therapists. And I think finding a good therapist is just like the answer to so many problems. I don't know why there's still a stigma involved in it. I don't know why people, spend all this money on miscellaneous things and then say, well, like I can't go to therapy. Right. I'm able to go there and say, I'm shutting down. I'm overwhelmed. There's no judgment involved. There's a process for me. I like to know why I'm feeling a certain way and what I can do about it. And so when I walk into therapy and say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, Alana will notice like patterns. She'll like say, so like, what are you doing? And I think it's such a good place for me to be when I feel that way.
That's good. I like that.
How about you?
Obviously a big believer in therapy. I'm somebody who lives by my calendar, and not in like the normal way where I'd be like, okay, this is my first appointment, second. It'll be like, call Lisa back. at 8:15. Like I will have every little thing that because I know that if my brain tries to hold on to my to-do list, I'm very anti to-do list. So I put anything that I think that I need to do into a calendar. If it's like, oh, make Nate a physical, it like goes into a calendar at a specific time when I know I have a break, and that's when it'll get done. And for me, that reduces my overwhelm because I know I'm going to get to everything. See, one of my big things is like, I'm going to forget to do something important. And that is like then what keeps my brain kind of like juggling, like I want to stay present, but I got to hold on to that to-do list. And that doesn't happen when I time block and put things into my calendar.
Yeah. And it's such a horrible feeling when you let something fall through the crack. I mean, I think we're all too hard on ourselves and everybody makes mistakes. But if it's like something that, you know, whether it's a friend's birthday or, you know, something that we promised our kids that we would do, you just feel awful. And so on top of feeling overwhelmed and crappy about that, now you're feeling crappy about, you know, like the person that you are because of being overwhelmed.
Right. Okay. So I think that is kind of where we led to this week's mission, which is our first mission outside of doing the podcast, which was how to figure out how to get some peace and tranquility, not only in our minds, but in our bodies specifically. And like what we can do that maybe we haven't tried before.
Yeah.
But we could talk about. So we did a couple of really big things.
So, well, first, like my biggest takeaway from this whole thing is like calming my nervous system, I think is more important than figuring out what's for dinner. And so the things that we did, which I'm really excited to share with you, are we went to a sauna called Perspire.
An infrared sauna.
An infrared sauna, which is a very good point. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. We went to a yoga studio and we, which we'll tell you about everything in more detail. And we did sound healing, sound bath, and we did breathwork. And then we read a book.
Called Stress Less, Accomplish More.
Who's the author?
Emily Fletcher.
Right.
Which was all about her style of meditation, which we're going to get into. So we really tried 3 different things that neither of us have really tried before. And we kind of wanted to report back on what we found, what worked, what we would do again. All right, so let's start with the infrared sauna. We did that at Perspire in Montvale, which, by the way, is a new place for those of you who live in the area, which was awesome, very clean. We thought it was very cool. And this is what the claims that the infrared sauna kind of put out there. So they say...
And by the way, we're using our notes because
there was a lot.
We wanted to give you all the information.
Collagen producing, releasing toxins, relaxing the mind, boosting immunity, faster healing, rejuvenate skin, and improving sleep. Now, I just want to say about this one, this is the kind of thing that I think needs to be continuous. Like, I don't think it's the kind of thing you can go to once and be like, it worked or it didn't work. So I think we can only talk about what the actual experience was like and if we think it would be something we would move into our routine.
Right.
So I don't know, what did you think?
So I was a little bit nervous because I don't do well in like hot yoga or hot Pilates or anything like that. But I have to say, like, I didn't walk out feeling like a rotisserie chicken.
No.
It was 123,
I think.
23 degrees in there, and we were in for a total of
40 minutes.
40 minutes. And I did not feel like you weren't in a full sweat. You felt warmer like inside.
Yeah.
It was like inside out.
Yes.
Right.
So I didn't feel like total sweat. I felt very calm. I mean, we went in together. We went into like a double one.
Yeah.
We went in together. They give you a TV. We were watching like Emily in Paris.
Right.
So it was relaxing. I mean, I've been in saunas before. I didn't notice that the infrared necessarily was doing anything different, but maybe it was. Certainly left there feeling relaxed. And I could see if you added it into your weekly practice of like, it's just something you do, that there would maybe be benefits that you couldn't see. But I'm somebody who really likes to see the benefits, especially when I'm spending that kind of money and dedicating time.
Yes.
So I don't know that it would be something I would do again. What about you?
I don't think so. I mean, I think like there's so many things in our life. And if I was going to pick one thing to do, I don't think it would be that. I mean, it was not pricey, but like you do have to...
I think it was $40.
I think it was $40.
And I'm sure you can get a package.
I'm sure you could get a package. I also like to see like, not instantaneous effects, but I didn't feel like I've gone to acupuncture and afterwards I was like, oh my God, I had the best sleep of my life. I didn't really feel that. But I did, like, since then, do some, like, research on saunas. And I was telling Michelle that there is, well, first of all, Dr. Mark Hyman, do you follow him?
I think so.
Super smart. He's like functional medicine. And he talks about saunas as more than just heat. They're controlled, beneficial stress releasers that like repairs your inner system. So he speaks about it. I'll just tell you what he says. He speaks about it in terms of cardiovascular fitness, increased heart rate variability, which is like a hot topic right now. Supports insulin sensitivity, regulates blood sugar, which are all those things like people who are taking like metformin or semaglutides like that, helps with weight loss and, your regulation of your sugar, which will be a whole other episode. And it decreases your stress hormones and improves sleep. And there was a Finnish study, Finnish, like
the country,
where saunas, evidently, I went down like a rabbit hole, and saunas are like a part of their life in Finland. They have them at work, in their locker rooms, like they do it on the daily. There's even a sauna in the parliament, interestingly enough. Yeah, they're really into it. And the studies on traditional Finnish sauna support cardiovascular health and longevity benefits, likely due to the repeated heat stress activating repair pathways. So, the jury's out for us. Like, one time it's not going to.
And it is like sort of, and as you were reading, I was thinking like, it's sort of the lazy man's like way to get all these like internal benefits. Like, you just literally have to sit there and be hot.
Literally
like,
sit there.
You're not taking a medicine. You don't, it's not uncomfortable really. So, I think if it is doing all the things that the science is saying it's doing, it probably is worth looking into. Yes, I think if you have a sauna in your home or in your gym that you can just like easily access, that might be different.
Yeah.
But I certainly, like, when I read and hear about the study and the benefits, like they're a lot. So next we went to Crescent Moon in Mawa, which we love.
Sign up, go there.
Yeah, it was such a cute studio. And the
shout
vibes,
out to Joanne. Such a nice studio.
The vibes were great. So it was a combined breath work that led into a sound bath. So I don't know about you, but I've never done a breath work like workshop. Have you?
No. There was this workshop, and her friend Michael was coming in from California, and he was like amazing at breath work, and she does sound bath. So I have never done breath work outside of like Alana teaches me breath work, which is like the basic, like, this from
like the box
therapy,
breathing,
the box breathing, and also the like the
double inhale and the long exhale.
Yeah, so it like startles you out of like thought spiraling. So I've never done this kind of breath work. And just to like set the scene, we walk in, it's like very calming in there. The mats are in like a semicircular form around the sound bath, Tibetan drums.
Yeah.
And it's sort of dark. You have a bolster for your knees and a blanket. And Michael starts to tell us about how we could possibly feel during the breathing, which is you could feel your body tingling. You can have a variety of
dizzy,
like, emotional responses, dizzy.
Where you could feel like you're floating.
Right.
You can feel like he sort of explained about how he got to this place, which of course was interesting. And he'd been an addict and all this stuff. And so, it's a really powerful intro in how it improved his life, which I thought was interesting.
Right.
But, when you go into something that you've never done before, you have really no expectation.
Right.
So he let us know right away all these things you could feel, like the dizziness, the tingling, the feeling like you're floating.
So Michelle and I couldn't speak, but like I was kind of looking at her. Were you feeling like there's no way I'm going to feel any of this stuff?
I think I was a little bit nervous because sometimes when I do get so focused on my breathing, I start to feel like I can't breathe. Like I start to feel like I'm having, like if you're meditating and you're focusing so much on your breath, like I start to be like, oh my God, can I breathe?
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous about that or feeling winded, but he was like very reassuring.
Yes.
You can stop, go at your own pace. If you need to do regular breathing for a while, start that. So I think I felt calm just knowing that that's what it was going to be.
He really was calming.
Right. And so we get blindfolded. You put on a blindfold. You have like a mat with 2 blankets and it's like very cozy and it's candlelit. And so we closed our eyes and we lay down and he starts playing all this like very powerful music.
Correct.
And he led us through the breath work. But the breath work interestingly, I don't know, maybe do you remember how he did it?
So it was like in through your stomach area, then in through your chest, and then out. And it was sort of tiring. Like when we first started off, I was like,
it's not, there's no nose breathing.
there's nose.
Right. It was all mouth breathing.
Yeah, breathing, it was like, it was calming also.
Yeah.
But we started doing it and I was like, I cannot do this for a half hour. It's exhausting. But you sort of get into the rhythm of it. And like Michelle said, he was like, gave you like every opportunity to take a break. There was no pressure. And so do you want to tell how you felt or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
So for me, I have to say it was like life-changing. I also took notes on this because it's like kind of like an emotional topic for me. It literally changed my life. And I'll tell you why. So as many of you, of course, as many of you know, my husband recently had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest during a Spartan race. And I was not there. He was with his sister in Vermont. It was on the mountain in Killington. I was at my friend's mom's 90th birthday party and got a call from a random hospital, which I didn't pick up at first because I was like, oh my God, we were in Vermont and my son had a kidney stone. Do I owe them money? And then they kept calling back. I was like, And the first thing I thought of is that my husband broke something or he got stung by a bee. And on the phone was this Dr. Graham who could not have been kinder. And he was basically like, your husband has had a massive heart attack. He's alive, but he's being airlifted from Vermont to Dartmouth. And, talk about like your life changing in like a nanosecond. And so when I went into the breathwork, I wasn't really even thinking about that. But we started breathing, and like a few minutes in, I felt like my legs were tingling. My heart was like not racing, but it felt like it almost felt like an out of body experience. And I just started bawling. Like,
so were you crying at that part, or I thought you cried in the sound bath? I didn't realize it was the breath work. Okay.
So it started in the breath work. Like my mask was soaking wet, and I wasn't like like sobbing. I was crying, like tears were rolling down my face. My mask was wet. But I wasn't like when you're crying, how like your nose gets like runny and stuff like that. It wasn't that. It was just like tears, waterworks. And he was coming around the room and he stopped at my feet for quite some time. He was like holding on to my legs, and the tears like actually came more. And then afterwards we were able to like share amongst ourselves, like if you wanted to, what your reaction was. And so I shared, and basically I think that my mind like processed the trauma of the heart attack, but I was like frozen in time.
But like your body,
my body didn't. And this was like my body processing it. And like before this, I was waking my husband up like every night. I would like tap him to make sure he's okay. I would ask him like after his cardio rehab, like, did you drop any PVCs? Like it was like constant vigilance. And since then, it's been like transformative. My body has been like at rest, and my mind has gone from like waiting for the next emergency to a sense of calm.
Wow.
It was powerful.
How powerful.
Yeah.
So then, that's just incredible, because like I just feel like that was all stored trauma for you.
All stored trauma.
And a lot of people who talked afterward, there was one man in the room who talked about how he had ADHD and how for those, hour or so he was, focused. He had a chronic pain. He didn't feel any pain. I mean, people really had big experiences and reactions to this, especially I think those of us who had never done it before.
Yeah.
For me, the sound bath was probably the best part of it. The breath work was hard and a lot of work, and I felt like a little distracted by how much work it was. But the sound bath, I think, got me into that meditative state that I know, like I can get into. And it was so real. It was like a form of relaxation that when we came out of it, there was like an elation. And what's interesting is I didn't cry. When I looked over at you and you told me you cried, I was like, huh. But then as you were talking and everyone was sharing, I noticed I was sobbing. There were tears coming down my face. Like there was nothing particularly that I...
Do you think it was like about your dad?
No,
like,
I think I just felt like in that very vulnerable, open emotional state where everything was just kind of coming out. And maybe obviously hearing you talk about it, but I think it was just the moment and it was just emotional. So, you know, we walked out of there, everyone's like hugging, and it's this sort of very kumbaya, peaceful thing. I would certainly do it again.
So interestingly enough, I mean, Michelle had to like wake me up at the end of it. I was out. So I missed most of the sound bath. I heard it, but I fell into such a deep sleep that I feel like I missed out on that part. And I think my body was just like exhausted. It was like, okay, danger has passed. You can finally sleep after so long of not sleeping. Yeah. So I missed the sound bath time.
Yeah.
I would 100% do it again. I would 100% go to the studio. It was
powerful.
It was powerful.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, look, are you going to do a sound bath every day? No, but we're going to share an app that I found that is really great. What has all the sound bath kind of sounds. The breath work, I would say, is something you should do with somebody trained who can walk you through it. Because like we kept saying, we didn't kind of get in our heads about the breath because he kept being like, all right, let's switch over to regular breathe. Like he kind of walked us through it in that way. But it was like I had tingling, I had dizziness. I didn't feel like I was floating. Some people said that they did.
Yeah. Some people saw angels.
All right, so now let's talk about the book that we read because, you know, this is something that anyone can do at home if you have a book. It was called Stress Less, Accomplish More. I guess I first want to know, reading the book, did it make you feel more stressed or less stressed thinking about like another thing you need to work into your routine?
Right. I mean, there's a lot in this book, and Michelle, like really, I'll leave it to you to like pick out. I know you highlighted like some really interesting parts. It felt overwhelming a little bit, speaking of being overwhelmed, to read through the book because I feel like I'm like somebody who feels like you have to do everything. But at the end of the book, it was like this big takeaway where like, you don't have to change your life to do this. No. And I feel like I can do this. It's really manageable. And my therapist, my friends have been telling me to do it for years. And it's twice a day for 15 minutes. And if you can't do it twice a day, do it once a day. If you can't do it for 15 minutes, do it for 5 minutes. But I do think that I would like to incorporate this into my life.
Yeah, definitely.
How about you?
So I always like go back and forth with meditation. I never got formally trained in TM, but my brother-in-law does it and he had walked me through it. So there was a period that I was doing that pretty consistently. And I'm always somebody who will just like go into a meditation in my office if I have time or at home, like if I just need it. But I would like it to be not reactive, but proactive. And I think that's obviously what this is. So basically what this is like Lisa said, it's a twice a day meditation. It's 15 to 20 minutes and it's broken up into 3 parts. It's mindfulness, which I'm a very big mindfulness person.
You are.
Meditation, and then manifestation, which I think the mindfulness and the manifestation could be like its own components, its own thing we could talk about. Cause I think I'm very big on both of those. And I think whenever my overwhelm gets high, being mindful, being in the moment, going very slow, paying attention to my senses always can like calm me down and bring me down. So I'm very into that. You know, it's again, closing your eyes. It's a mantra that they give you. So, you know, that's the basics of how you do it. But there were some really interesting things that I kind of wrote down that I wanted to share. You know, one of the things I think that I hear from my patients and people that I talk to about meditation is that they get upset about their mind wandering. And the thing that she said, which I think was so profound, was, you know, you don't tell your heart to stop beating. So don't tell your mind to stop thinking. Like, duh, you know, so that made you feel better. Then another thing she said that I didn't know, which I can't believe I didn't know, was that your cortisol and adrenaline, when they are spiked, they are acidic. So the more stressed you are, the more like you're pickling yourself. And I thought that was like so interesting, just even in terms of like how we're all so crazed with anti-aging and this and that. It's like the more acid we're producing from our cortisol and our adrenaline, like the more we're pickling ourselves.
And I thought that was such like a good, I know like people like to use these terms, but it really made sense.
Totally made sense. One of the other things I pulled, which I always, again, go back and forth, but I've been really trying to make a practice, was the gratitude journal. And I think it's such an easy thing to incorporate. She's like, it's Oprah's favorite thing. To me, it's so easy. It's like, put a little journal next to your bed, write down 3 things every night that you're grateful for, because you can't be grateful and anxious at the same time. So to me, that makes a complete sense. And that's an easy practice that I will definitely take away from this.
Same.
Another thing that she pointed out that I thought was interesting was like they have a 90% success rate with migraines. Like, so if you really are suffering from migraines, think about meditating. It's usually effective.
I thought that part was so
brain.
interesting because my sister suffers from migraines, and I drive her into the city for her to get like her shots, and she comes out and she's like, oh my God, I just got like 76 shots. And I was like thinking to myself,
like you could just meditate.
You could just meditate.
Right. The other part that I really loved was this idea that like the things that are happening to you are happening for you. Like the things that are happening are meant to show you something else. And so to take even the things that you would register as negative as like life lessons and things that are leading you somewhere else. And when you are in more of a meditative state, you can be open to that and not just keep categorizing things as like, this bad thing happened, this bad thing, that like you can start to be more open to things happening and having bigger purpose and reason. Right. So I thought that was great. Yeah.
One thing that I remember, like you just said something that triggered this, is that it's also really good for your brain. Like we are so worried about dementia and like our, these like little games that we play on our phone and stuff to keep like our brain healthy. The meditation is actually really good for your brain because pulling back your thoughts, it's not just about like keeping like your thoughts empty while you're doing it, but if your mind wanders, pulling it back is like a really good exercise for your brain.
Totally. And the fun part that I thought, there was like one whole chapter, I think she called it like from ohms to oh my gods. And it was all about how meditation improves your sex life. And she had all this good data on it that I thought was like, pretty, not just like obvious, but things that you wouldn't have thought about. Like, first of all, if your cortisol levels are too high, you can't orgasm. Like, didn't know that. Obviously, when you're relaxed, when you go on vacation, everyone's always like, oh, it's like so much easier to have sex on vacation. Yeah, because you're relaxed.
Right.
So if you can get yourself into a relaxed state, you're going to enjoy sex more, you're going to be more present. So all that stuff she talked about, I thought was like extremely interesting.
And also, what was that Danish study that you were telling me about? Wasn't there like a study in there with the kids?
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was the Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah, the Dalai Lama.
I'm on Finnish Danish.
Because one of the things that she said was when you meditate, you become more empathetic.
Right.
Because it connects two parts of your brain. I mean, it's complicated. I won't get into it, but it connects two parts of your brain. The part of your brain that like judges people with the part of your brain that has empathy. So there is a stronger connection between those two pieces, which makes you a more empathetic person. So basically, one of the things the Dalai Lama had said was if we taught all 8-year-olds to meditate, there'd be no more wars because everyone would be so much more empathetic towards each other. So it makes you more empathetic, more generous. Like they did some sort of study to see about people's generosity and like there was a huge amount of abundance in terms of people's generosity if they meditated.
More people were willing to give their time.
Exactly. So, I mean, since I've read the book, I've definitely been trying to meditate more consistently. I will be honest, the morning one is not a problem. Like I've been able to do it every morning. It's the afternoon because she wants you to do it somewhere between like 3 and 4. Now, normally 3 and 4, I'm working or carpooling or doing something. So that timing felt hard. Whereas the morning feels easy.
3 to 4 won't work for me. And that's what I mean about like, give yourself a little grace here. Like if you can't do it from 3 to 4 and you can do it a different time, do it the different time.
So, I mean, I definitely think this is like one of my goals for the year is to make this a practice, whether it's like a little bit of a variation on her method, which was called the Ziva method, or it was just my own variation of meditation. I really think I am calmer. I do notice like I'm less overwhelmed. I'm much more present. I'm much more in the moment. Even sometimes I just make myself, I'm a very fast person. That's why I'm like spilling. I'm like going slow, just like how I'm putting my shoes on, how I'm driving,
walking.
Just slowing down, not rushing makes me feel so much calmer because I hate the feeling of rushing, but I do it to myself. So I feel like that mindfulness, that practice, along with the gratitude journal, I think would be what I would mostly take away from it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try the meditation. I think that there's so many, the health benefits and plus like the quieting of the mind, I think would be life-changing. So why this matters, like the before Boca version of like why this matters, I think is you're not stressed because your life is empty. You're stressed because your life is full. And so what kinds of things can you do where you can enjoy the fullness of your life to the best of your ability? And I feel like that's what I walked away from our mini adventures.
Totally. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. I love thinking about how to bring some peace and tranquility into like my own life, because then I think it trickles down into my whole family, to my kids.
Yes.
If I can be calmer, then they're, all of it. So this was for me an A+, and I think we definitely extracted from it like the important pieces. So let's get into what we're into and what we're over for the week.
My favorite part.
My favorite part, right?
Go first.
Okay, so I'll go first. I am not a great consistent exerciser. Part of that is my schedule. Part of that is my laziness. So I will work out with my trainer once a week. I will do Pilates when I can. But what I've been trying to do is I bring weights into my office, and I'll try to lift weights in between sessions.
I saw them
just
there.
do some reps. But what I also just recently purchased was the P-Valve band, the one that Jennifer Aniston uses, and I really like it. So it's like you put it into your fingers, and it's a resistance band.
Yep.
And I'll use it for like 5 to 7 minutes in the morning, and I really like it. I feel like my arms are sore after. Like it really works.
I love that. And it's like portable. Okay.
Really portable. One thing I'm over, and this just happened like this week, is the snowstorms that don't really snow.
It ruined so many people's travel plans.
Right. I'm not into it. And I think this is part of like the snowbird appeal. Like,
It's only good for the food stores.
it's only like, I cannot stand it. I can't stand the buildup. And then it snows, and it's like the roads are icy, but it's not even pretty. And it's not like, so I'm over the snowstorms that don't really snow.
Okay.
What about you?
So one thing I'm really into is not having like a bottomless bag. And I really want to take that into the new year. So
Because we're always losing everything.
yesterday I had this like big fur bag. We went to the diner and I had 3 things in it, and I couldn't find the 3 things. And I still couldn't find it this morning. I couldn't find my little wallet buried in the bottomless bag. So I'm into and excuse me if I don't pronounce this correctly, the Longchamp.
Ooh, what do they have?
So Michelle actually sent me one over the summer because my boys ride, and there's a nod to the equestrian. It's a horse and a rider on it.
Ooh,
And
I like
actually,
that for you.
fun fact, it's was designed in tribute to a old racetrack in Paris. And I feel like they used to be, like when I was in Syracuse, I feel like I had one. And then they kind of like went by the wayside. But now they have this little one, and I'm going to tell you what it's called. It's called the Le Pelage. And it's a small grab and go. You can attach a crossbody string, a crossbody strap, thank you. Or you can take it in your hands. It is just the right size for your lip gloss, your keys, your phone, and that's pretty much, and your little wallet, that's pretty much all you need. Check it out on our
because I have
link
that
tray.
Prada crossbody that it's literally just a phone bag, and it has a little compartment for your keys and your lip gloss. I'm like, this is right for me, because now I'm not missing anything.
Why are we shopping these big bags?
Yeah, because there's nothing in them.
One thing I'm really over is the signing up for a code when you're shopping with your email, and then they make you enter your cell phone number.
Wait, this is so funny you're saying this. Me and my sister were at the outlets the other day down the shore, and we were at some store that Stella was buying things. It's not a place I would normally go. And so they're like, do you want 15% off? I'm like, okay. So they asked my email. I give them the email. And then I give them my phone number, but I gave a fake phone number because I didn't really want. But so my sister's like, "That's not your phone number." She's like, "Your phone number."
She says it out loud.
And she says it right. And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like the woman was looking at me. But then my sister's like, "You wouldn't have gotten the discount because they're going to send you a code right now." I'm like, oh, right.
What has life become?
It's so annoying. And then I opt out immediately the minute
I opt out immediately. I want the discount.
Right.
The discounts
I just
are
don't
no
want
joke.
you to text me.
Don't
You're
text
annoying
me. And then if you forget to opt out and you get a text like 3:00 in the morning,
that's the worst.
Oh, it's the worst.
Okay.
Did you do your next one?
Yes, I have another one. Okay, so I'm very into, last week I talked about my nails and my nail journey, but this week I'm thinking about my hair care journey.
Okay.
And I have
your hair looks good today.
It does?
Yeah.
I have 2 things I want to promote. One would be the L'Oreal Ever Pure glaze. So it's like, if you go to the salon and you get like a glaze that you pay for, this is essentially the same thing. When you're in the shower, after you do your conditioner, you like string out your hair so it's like a little bit dry, and then you put it in for 5 minutes while you're in the shower and just let it set, and then you rinse it, and I feel like it makes your hair pretty glossy. And you don't have to use it every day.
I like the L'Oreal because it's not going to be like a gazillion dollars.
It's like $9.
Yeah.
It's very cheap.
Okay, good one.
And then I think I also talked to you about this recently, was I got a new hair dryer. So instead of the Dyson, because my Dyson Airwrap is does not do it for me. It makes me very confused
it's so
and whatever.
stressful.
It's the Shark, and it's very lightweight. So it's this small hair dryer that's just lightweight. So my arm doesn't get tired as I'm actually styling my hair, because that's what ends up happening. I give up. Like,
right. You're like,
on
I'm done.
Right.
And
So-
then it's frizzy.
Right. The thing I'm over is paying for bread at a restaurant.
Oh, I can't stand it. Bread service.
Bread service. This is like a thing you and I have talked about.
Yep.
Like, you go to a nice restaurant and then they're like, do you want to pay for the bread? And what me and someone else were talking about recently was like, just roll it into the price. Like, it's like the trunks at
100%.
camp.
Right. Just roll it in.
I don't want to
wanna
know
see a
that
separate price.
the bread is $10. Like,
Add $3 to my salmon.
correct.
Yeah.
So I'm over that.
Yeah. And then sometimes they'll give you like this exotic spread for the bread.
I just want butter or oil. Butter or oil.
Yeah. Okay. Good ones. Another thing that I'm into is the Omnilux Light Therapy.
Ooh, like a mask?
Like a mask. I've been using it.
Oh, you've been using it.
Yeah. Does my skin look better?
It does look good, your
It
skin.
actually, I feel like, has made a change.
Do you use it every night?
It's, well, no. I use it like 3 times a week.
Okay.
And it's one technology that's actually proven to help with skin aging. And I feel like there's so many different products
How
on
did you
the
come to
market.
this one?
I've been watching them for a while, and I ordered one, and my son Zach was like, did you get one of those masks? And then I felt stupid and returned it, but I'd kept this one. The Omnilux in particular, I feel like it's like, it forms to your face. It's very light. It's very easy to use. It doesn't have like a million plugs and things that I'm going to lose. So I'm going to try it, and I'll let you know. So far, it's
You would promote it.
worth the price. I would promote it. Okay. One thing I'm over is the year of the snake.
What does that mean?
So, you know, like there's like the year of the rat, the year of this year, it was the year of the snake. And it's like very like, it is what it sounds like what it's like. It's like, I'm over the shedding. I'm over the, not easy feeling of relationships and attachments and versions of ourselves. I'm done with the shedding. Like, let's move on. 2026, year of the horse.
Ooh,
Speaking of like a little equestrian theme.
That's a good one.
And it's about strength and power and momentum and freedom. And it's sort of like, I mean, I used to ride, and my boys ride. And I think it's just like such a freeing feeling. Like, horses are meant to run. And I feel like
You're meant to run,
I'm over the snake,
Run, baby, run.
ready for the horse.
Okay, I'm done with that. Well, thank you guys for tuning into our second episode.
Yeah.
Whew, we did it. And I think we're actually recording. So
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see you next week when we talk about how not to complain.
Good one.
Bye.